Adjusting to their new life, Bernadette Keane and her husband Grant now work out of their garage. They make computer-controlled machines used for cutting customized designs. But their business has taken a massive hit during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic in South Africa. They lost their workshop, their workforce, and were also kicked out of the home they had been renting in the capital, Pretoria.
It's been a very scary year. And it's been a lot of disappointment. I can't even look back on photos of us in the old house because that was our dream. We were working towards owning that house, and it had everything, and we lost that, and we lost our financial freedom.
The couple and their 3 children now live with Bernadette's parents on the outskirts of the city. Business is slow because they are struggling to get some components from international suppliers. Despite all this, the family remains resilient.
We're starting a couple of businesses on the side. I mean, during the first lockdown when we had to shut down, I was sewing masks 24/7 just to keep the lights on and to put food on the table for the kids.
While the Keane family have been forced to downgrade their lifestyle, South Africa is a country with gaping inequality, and many others are doing far worse. Lerato Motlong rents a tiny room in Greenfields Township, southeast of Johannesburg. Back in February, she had an apartment in one of Johannesburg's upmarket suburbs, a luxury car, and her daughter was enrolled in an elite private school. But then the small tobacco shop she was running went bankrupt.
Me, I even pawned a car, darling. I was driving BMW 320i. Which meant I went and pawned my car because the situation, it was too heavy for me.
Despite all this, Lerato has refused to give up. To get back on her feet, she's selling food outside factories in an industrial area.
At first, I was embarrassed, but now I'm not embarrassed about this business anymore because I know what it's giving me. As I'm going back to the north, I'm going to do it. At the end of the day, me, I'll be counting. I'll be going to the bank, putting my money, saving my money.
Lerato and the Keane family represent tens of thousands of South Africans who debt counsellors say are slipping out of the middle class. According to the National Credit Regulator, many of those who remain in the middle class income bracket are drowning in debt. Increasingly, they are using loans, credit cards to cover everyday expenses such as food, transport, and electricity bills. The regulator estimates these consumers are using up to 64% of their net income to repay debt. Libuwane Naledzani is a debt counselor who helps people renegotiate their payment plans with creditors. This allows them to pay off their debt in lower installments over a longer period while still being able to cover basic living expenses. Libuwane says that since the pandemic began, the phones haven't stopped ringing.
Most people that are renting outside, they're going to back home, like to go and stay with their parents so that they can just reduce that rental. That money will be used for something else, especially for food. Because we have seen a lot of consumers whereby, as we speak right now, there is no money for food. Like completely there's nothing.
As bleak as the current situation is, Libuwane believes there is hope. She says that once people go through the debt counseling process, they'll become economically stable again and in many cases, financially wiser. Ntshepeng Motema, TRT World in Johannesburg.